we're bringing up a group of sophomores because they just got back from the sophomore retreat, and you guys can grab your stools and take seats as I intro. Here at New Life Academy, we do a lot of these, what are called educational and spiritual excursions. We've got 6th graders going to Camp Forest Springs in May. 9th graders do a one-day retreat in August. The seniors do a one-day retreat at the beginning of school and a week long at the end of school. Sophomores just did theirs, and in November the juniors go on missions trips. Each of them has an academic focus, but also a spiritual focus. And so this group of sophomores just got back yesterday afternoon, and these 6 volunteered to share a little bit about their experience and a little bit about, as a student story about that sophomore trip and what it means. And so I'm going to have them introduce themselves first, and then we'll get to the questions. So why don't we start right here, and just say who you are. You're all sophomores, so just say who you are so everybody knows who you are. There you go.
I'm Hannah George.
I'm Abby Swenson.
I'm Tyler Hullett.
I'm Nathan Stillwell.
I'm Allison Parnell.
I'm Will Hamill.
Okay, so we're going to start easy, and then we'll go a little deeper. So the first one, what was your favorite part of sophomore trip? You just came off of it, you're still kind of dazed and confused after 3 days of activities. So what was your favorite part? Any of you can share.
All right, well, I just love the atmosphere of camp, and so just being there with all the people in our grade, just having fun and being able to just kind of forget about school and everything and just be together was just a great time, so.
My favorite part was definitely either the rock wall or canoeing.
My favorite part was the zip lining and swing. That was a lot of fun.
My favorite part was probably the caving, because it was really cool to go down the cave. I wasn't expecting it to be really an actual cave. It was we were really far down.
My favorite part was caving and bonding.
I'm gonna have to agree with Nathan and Allison. The caving was awesome.
Okay. So going through a cave, otherwise known as spelunking. Yeah. So, second one, we'll let you have a little fun here. What do you think was the goofiest thing that happened on this trip?
So we were in our cabin, and Kendra was sitting on her bed, and there was a sign on the wall, and it fell off, and she got up, screamed, and said, "It's a lizard!" And we were like, "Kendra, it's a sign."
Okay, so when we were caving, we were going down to this really small opening, and it was like you had to go on your stomach and you'd slide and crawl through, and it was called the birth canal. So I went through, some other people went through, and I went through with Mr. Westland. Mr. Westland was standing here, and then someone was trying to go through and they were struggling a lot, and Mr. Westland's just like, "Push, mama, push!"
I think the funniest moment for me was we were canoeing, Nathan and Riley, and we flip our canoe and we're just sitting in the water for 20 minutes without 2 paddles. We lost them. That was probably the funniest part.
I'm going to expand on that story that Tyler just said when we were scooping water and throwing it off our canoe while we were slowly going down.
The goofiest part was having a mini dance party with my friends outside the cabin and having a scare battle with my friend Alex.
The goofiest part for me was during a chapel when Michael came up and he did a perfect Scottish accent. It was amazing.
And thankful that you brought up chapel, because you did have 4 chapels, and there is a major spiritual part of this trip. So, how were you on this trip challenged spiritually? You had 4 chapels led by Mr. Atkinson and Mr. Flavin, and they had a purpose. They had wanted to share stuff with you. So, how were you challenged spiritually? And any of you can answer this.
All right, well, Monday night, Mr. Flavin kind of addressed us as individuals, and he talked about how we can live out the gospel in our everyday life. I know we like try and do that and we know what's right to do, but sometimes we just get caught up in ourselves and the like busyness of life, and so we don't think about playing out the gospel in our everyday life. And I was just challenged to think about that and to move forward, making that part of my everyday life.
One of the ways that we were challenged to grow was as a grade, they really wanted us to bond and think about each other before ourselves, and just learn to be there for each other when we need it.
I was challenged spiritually by communicating because of the challenges we had to communicate a lot.
I would say thinking more about others instead of myself, because during a lot of the challenges, it was more about putting others first in communication and getting through things.
Okay, I only got one more question for you, but it's going to take some guts to answer. What is one major thing spiritually you took out of this trip and you're going to try it? And then why are you going to try it?
All right, so we had these groups that we were in that were called tag groups, and so we did like challenges together. And one of the things that my group did, we were all inside of this spider web, and there was like holes in it, and we had to get everybody in our group out of the spider web without touching the ropes. And so we kind of failed a little bit, but after it, we kind of related it spiritually, and so if you messed up, you got a blindfold on you. And one of the takeaways from that was kind of that sometimes we're blind to our sin, and we need others to help us guide our way through that sin to get out of it. And so I just was kind of thinking about that and like being intentional about finding people that are stuck in their sin but they don't know how to get out of it, and to encourage them in that, and to try and come alongside them and be an encouragement to them, because they might not be able to get out on their own and they might not even be aware of what they're doing. But if you come by them and help them through it, they will realize things they never even knew.
Okay, so I took out of it that I need others to like help me both in life and spiritually and just like friend-wise. And it was like, so for me, I don't like getting help from people. Like I do everything on my own. Don't like getting help from people, and like TAC groups and just the camp helped me to realize I need people in my spiritual life and just daily life.
I realized how simple worship can really be, because during our chapels, we didn't really have a lot to work with. We really just had like a guitar, a piano, and his ukulele. And so I realized how simple it can be, and you can do it no matter where you are and what you have. So just applying that to life is really what I took away.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Let's give these six a hand. And so we still have another part of chapel left, because a big part of the sophomore trip was the one who shared with them spiritually. And so we wanted to give him a chance to share with the whole secondary. So please give a warm welcome to Mr. Flavin.